You know, it's interesting where you see statistics, but also you look at, like, my parents are almost married 50 years. And I'm going to say this straight up. You see people that have been married for a long time, they've stuck it out, they've worked it out, and it wasn't flowers all the way, right? But eventually they got to a point where they understood each other. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I have been very grossed out on how people act in relationships, and it's really sad. Men and women both. They've been with somebody, and then they just go to the next person, the next person, the next person. They don't stick with anyone. And I'm going to warn you right now, if that person has a past of just starting over, my fear on that whole thing is, and I've been there, and I've also made mistakes myself. I'm not perfect. But as I get older, I see that if he or she's left people in the past continually for no real reason, not abuse, whatever it might have been, usually most relationships I've come across, they didn't have any abuse at all. They were just kind of tired of the guy or the gal. Okay, that's it. They weren't in love anymore, which after 2 years, you already know wears off. So then what happens is they move on to somebody else. And I'm going to say this. If that person has a pattern of doing that you're dating, I'm going to warn you right now. It's going to be hard to say, but they're not going to change. They're still going to do the same thing throughout their lives, generally speaking. Okay? Sometimes people hit a point in their lives where they realize, hey, wait a minute, I'm getting older here and I see what I'm doing. Now, that's rare though. Like, I've known men years ago in my 20s, and they were the player guys. They played around and, went with women, if you know what I mean. And it's funny seeing them like 20 years later, and they were in their maybe late 30s, early 40s back then. They've got nobody. Matter of fact, a woman wouldn't even dare date that guy because he looks terrible. He's mentally messed up. His body's physically fallen apart because he's done this debauchery his whole life. And I'm saying that for you women too. I'm not leaving you off the hook. Okay, men too, and women. You eventually are used up. You have nothing because you are being promiscuous in your life, and you threw it all away. Okay? That's a hard truth. Now, I'm telling you people out there, don't do that. Also, if you're in a relationship with somebody, don't play with people. Okay? You men and women know better. Don't play with people's hearts. Don't break them. Don't use them. And especially if you don't love them, don't keep going with them and pulling their strings. Okay? And I'm also going to say this. Relationships take work. If you just like to go out and be in love and have the wonderful butterfly feelings in your chest, then how about if you have a dog instead? I'm serious. Don't mess around with human beings, okay? Be by yourself and have a dog. Pet your dog, talk to your dog, and maybe if you get bored, dare I say it, would you do the same thing to your dog? I'm bored of my dog, so I'm going to give it up to the pound. Oh, wait. Just made you think about something, didn't I? So you have a precious dog or cat or an animal that you really love and you get bored of them. Are you going to give them to the pound? Well, I'm saying that the same in relationships with human beings. You're going to throw them away, give them up. And if you are, Wait a minute. Maybe you are actually a narcissist. Oh no. Wow, it's just something to think about. And don't get me wrong, we've all made mistakes in relationships. I've made a ton of mistakes. Okay, I'm not innocent of anything. Okay, I have plenty. But I also realize that people can work things out too, if they're willing to work it out. All right? And you have to look at yourself too. Maybe you're not as great and as wonderful as you think you are. Till then, have a great day. And I think we honestly should speak our own minds too, and not be just feared in the back because we're going to get kicked off the internet or something for speaking what we think is the truth. Have a great day.